Okay, I'll make that right on the hour. So good morning to everybody who's joined us for this webinar about the brand new OLP Learning Dashboards. So I'll tell you a little bit about the format of the next sort of half an hour, 35 minutes or so. In terms of what to expect, we'll have an introduction to the Learning Dashboards, a live demonstration, an opportunity for your questions. Please put questions in the Q&A box to the right-hand side of the screen. We'll look to answer those during the Q&A session at the end. And we'll also give you some information in terms of how to join the list of ATG customers, adding the Learning Dashboards to that OLP subscription. So we'll give you a link and a QR code to enable you to do that as easily as possible. I'd just like to introduce you this morning to our hosts, Robert McLagan and Zoe Muir. Guys, if you'd just like to spend a few moments introducing yourselves.
Sure, thanks, James, and welcome everybody to this webinar. It's really exciting to be able to talk about what we're doing in the data space here at Ocean Technologies Group. So, yeah, my name's Robert McLagan. I'm the Director of Data here within the Technology and Product Experience arm of the group. I look after the team that develops all of the products that we're about to demonstrate and talk you through. So it's really exciting to do that. Zoe?
Hi, good morning, afternoon. My name is Zoe Muir. I am the Performance and Insight Specialist in Ocean Technologies Group. I'm currently part of the data team where Robert and I help our colleagues and customers harvest data insights, measure business performance, and drive better informed decisions within the range of data solutions we offer. And today I'm here to support Robert to bring this OLP dashboard to life.
Thank you very much, guys. So again, with the chat box on the right-hand side, it's always really interesting to know where people are joining us from. So do feel free to say hi and let us know whereabouts in the world you're from. So without any further ado, I will hand over to Robert, who can take us through an introduction.
Thanks, James. So yeah, just to run through on what we're going to cover. So a little bit of a background in terms of what we're trying to achieve and why. With this new launch, the bit of background in terms of how we're going to achieve that, and maybe some of the other components that we're looking at going forward. The key features of the learning dashboard that we're going to demo. We'll move into the demo itself with Zoe, and we'll have plenty of time to look at questions as we get to the end of the session. So as you see things, if you want to ask a question, please feel free to put that in the Q&A zone within the webinar, and we will pick them up as we go through. So why are we looking at this? Just over a year ago, maybe a little bit longer, we started to look at what we needed to do within the data space to really enhance the quality of product that we deliver. Looking at what we had today, what feedback we'd had from you as our customers, what the problems were and the needs were that we were getting as part of that feedback. And we took a real step back to think about how we would achieve that in the best way going forward. And so we had a few goals out of the back of that process. Really, it's about providing a greater level of accessibility and interactivity with our data, with the data in our platforms. That doesn't mean just the Ocean Learning platform, but it means Compass, it means the Terramarine 2 fleet system as well. And also, we wanted to be able to make sure that we could deliver analytics that was relevant to topics across the platform. So how can we connect our crewing data with the learning data to give you some insights that perhaps wouldn't be possible just looking at one of those individual solutions on its own? It had to be scalable so that it could meet your needs even as you grow as customers into larger fleets. It had to be able to fit different requirements that some of you have got, between either, out of the box dashboards to give you answers on the screen at a few clicks, but also maybe to customize and grow with you through allowing you to develop some of your own solutions, and also looking at how we can leverage new tooling to provide advanced analytics as well. So as a result of that process, we have basically come up with a template whereby data analytics now is absolutely at the core of how we develop out our systems. And on the screen here, you can see on the left-hand side kind of rough diagram, very simple in terms of how we build solutions, but we've got infrastructure, we've got shared services that exist across different modules within those, and at the top, different solutions. So the solutions would be learning or crewing or fleet management, but absolutely in the middle there is data and analytics services, and that branches out into a range of different types of products and solutions that we're looking to build. And the dashboard that we're going to demonstrate for you today is the first product that is leveraging this new approach. But it's absolutely the first product. It is the first step on a journey towards delivering a whole range of different data and analytics products as part of our solution catalog going forward. So we're looking at interactive dashboards as a core foundation to that, and we're going to demonstrate the dashboard today, which gives you a good foundation within the learning space, but we're going to be pushing out more dashboards to give you even greater level of detail and analysis within that space. But also in the next 6 to 9 months, we'll be launching different products within the crew and the fleet space as well. Analytics APIs and templates are absolutely critical to you being able to customize and get the best value for you as a business out of these tools as well. We're going to be developing APIs that are specifically designed for you to hook into products like Power BI or Tableau, where there are specific types of data structures that these products require, and that will help you to get on and visualizing your data yourself in a few clicks as well. And then moving on, we're also looking in the next, as part of this absolutely critical step forward to how we can leverage new techniques in AI and ML to enhance the level of insight that we provide. So looking specifically at the dashboard that we're going to see in a moment, it's covering the high-level functions and features of OLP, where we're looking at personnel, installations, training requirements, and usage as 4 key subjects. The design and the user experience of the dashboard has been built to be very much like a modern analytics system. So you'll be able to filter across a range of key data attributes and see cross-filtering between visuals. And if you're not familiar with what those terms mean, then Zoe will demonstrate them for us in a moment. You'll be able to get down to the individual records that relate to the aggregated numbers on the page, so that you can really see the lineage between what's happening in the system and those high-level metrics. And then also so that you can then take the data away to maybe do some further analysis or the like. You'll be able to download it into either CSV or Excel. And then also one thing we really like is that you can take a visual that's on the screen and take it as an image, so you can use it within something like a presentation you might share with your colleagues. So without talking about it any further, I'm going to hand over to my colleague Zoe, who'll share her screen just now. Zoe, do you want to take over and we can see what this is actually going to look like?
Sounds good, Robert. So For the demo today, I have prepared a few commonly asked, what we call the high-value business questions relating to seafarer training performance. And I'm going to show you how can these high-value questions be answered by this OLP dashboard in just a few clicks. Okay, so let me share my screen. Okay, I'm sure my screen is now live. I'm looking for James's nod. Yes.
Yeah, we can see your screen, Zoe.
Okay. Right. Okay. So just a quick orientation before we dive into. This new dashboard is part of your OLP Online. Okay, and there's no separate login required. So in order to see this dashboard, all you need to do is log on to the OLP as usual, and then hold over onto the main menu, and then you will see the menu item dashboard just be on very top of the item. Single tap on that, and that will take you to the screen I'm sharing right now. This dashboard is fully interactive, and there are several ways you could slice and dice the data, which Robert has covered briefly in the earlier slides. So I will just quickly show you where those features are. The filter, we can see there's a filter pane on the right-hand side of the screen, where we have a full range of attributes for the report-wide filtering purpose. Apart from the filter pane, you could also utilize the visuals and perform what we call the cross-filtering. So here's one example. Okay, if I click on the cursor, when the cursor becomes clickable, for example, when I tap on LNG tanker under installation type, you will see on top of the standard filters, there's additional cross filters. Installation type equals to LNG tanker has been applied. What that means is all the report has been recalculated, only showing, in this case, the personnel by activity month, only relating to the onboard vessel where installation type equals to LNG tanker. To release the filter, simply cross it out, and that will take you to the previous configuration. Okay. As you can see, when I hold over my mouse, there's a lot of tooltips where you could read in a lot more detailed information about each data point. Okay. I also want to draw your attention to the information button. When you hold over onto that, there's more explanations, whether it's legends or keys, explaining the terminology we use in the report, should you find you need some help on that. Okay. One of my favorite feature in this dashboard, Robert also mentioned that, is the capability for you to take away the data, whether export as a spreadsheet, looking at the summarized underlying data, or you could download an image with a clear background. That's easier for you to insert that into the other reports or in the communication piece. Okay. So now let's take a closer look at how can we leverage the OLP dashboard key features and answer some of those important training performance questions that matters to you and your stakeholders. The first and foremost common questions for any seafarer L&D professional, I believe, is always around measuring the level of learning engagement. For example, how engaged are the seafarers with the learning assessment, and to what extent do crew utilize the learning solutions we invested? In order to demonstrate the level of engagement, here I propose there are three things you could consider measuring. The first one is to measure the number of the crew who reached and used OLP during a period of time. So to measure this on the OLP dashboard, firstly, we need to define the desired date range. So when I open the calendar slicer, you will see the date range is defined from the first day of 2023 till to date. Okay. And under the personnel page where we are, there is a visual called the personnel by activity month. So this is a accumulated number of unique count of the OLP users where they have at least one activity during that particular calendar month. So based on this customer, what you will see is a very steady uptrend from 2023 up to 2024. Now they have over 250 distinct crew, unique crew use the OLP solutions. So that's considered a quite positive communication piece. So just a reminder, if you want to communicate that further or analyze further, use the download to take away your data. The other thing you could consider measure instead of the head count, you could actually look at the number of the total activities, completed activities during the same period of time. So I now move on to the usage page where you will see that all, whether it's learning, assessment, or communication activities that were captured in OLP are now presented as data visuals. So what we are looking at now on the left-hand side is the donut chart where we will see in this company during this period of time, the distribution of activity types between the CBT, which is e-learning, and the CST, which is the group training. The distribution is proportionally even. Okay. Okay. Quick reminder. I know those abbreviations may not be familiar by all of you. So hold around to that. We'll see the explanation what APR actually means. Our ability profiling testing versus REL that refers to the rapid e-learning. Okay. So coming back to the level of engagement, as we said, based on this example, the distribution between CBT and CST are quite even as a summary. But when we pay attention onto the right-hand side where we broke down the completion by the calendar month, we will actually see the changes, gradual changes. In 2023, the majority of the learning activities were completed by the self-study CBT versus as we move on to 2024, the CST actually begins to dominate the proportion for each month and becomes the majority of the learning activities in this company. And again, if this observation is insightful, you could slice and dice and then take away the data further. One more thing in relating to engagement we could look at is the total time spent on CBT activity or CBT taken. So there are two visuals we could look at. On the very left-hand side, there is a big number, 3.12K. So that means during this period of time, over 3,000 hours of e-learning has been consumed. And then when it's broken down by installation name, we can see the vessels Mark 3, 4, and 5. 3 of them spend almost or above 500 hours for the onboard CBT consumption. So just to recap here, there are 3 key measures in this OLP dashboard that can help you to demonstrate the level of engagement. It could be done by either the CBT time taken or by the total count of completed activities. Both are in the usage page. Or we could look at in the personnel page, we have the personnel by the activity month. Okay, that's 3 of them. Okay, let's move on. Another common questions you may often think of is whether the OLP on board your vessels stay current. From time to time, you may start to wonder, are all my vessels using the latest OLP software? Or are those vessels returning those onboard records regularly? Those questions can now be monitored easily in our installation page. So to set the report right, let's look at some of the filters we need to filter. As we see, we want to look at your current vessel. So let's select the status of installation to be active. And the other thing is we only want to look at the vessel. So after you select it, make sure you click the apply filter. So now the installation page has recalculated to represent only active vessels in your fleet. In this bottom page, this is a granular list where this shows all your installations and their basic attributes, as well as their service pack version, as well as their last import date. So you could tap on the header, column header, and quickly filter, sort which installation has got the latest service pack and which one is not, and the same as the last import date as well. I want to draw your attention on this search box. This is a very useful tool for you to perform the wildcard research to this table in any columns. So for example, if I just want to look at any installation with SP30 something, then I put SP3 and then it will return those three database installation with a database version 35. Okay. Okay. That's about installation, and I'm sure it's something in your head as well. There's one more high-value business questions that's highly relevant to the training department, and that's about the current status of your mandated training completion on board. It's particularly important to ensure all your operating vessels retain a very good level of collective competence, because that ensures the safe operations on board the ships. So one way to measure this assurance is to look at the combined training requirements completion rate based on the current onboard crew. So in the previous example, we have filtered out the active vessels. To monitor the training requirement, there's one more filters we need to apply, which is the personnel status. We only want to look at the personnel on board. Okay. So now the dashboard has been recalculated again, and we are now looking at all the required training requirements on board active vessel collected by onboard crew. So as you can see from overall level, the onboard completion rate is just over 50%. And if you scroll down a little bit, you could easily benchmark the completion rate between the fleets. So for example, Spark 4 has the lowest completion rate versus Spark 3 being the highest. Now, if there's any specific training initiative you want to keep a close eye on the progress, it's very easy to add additional filters to filter down by proficiency name, which is the visual on the right-hand side. Let's say you want to start tracking down one of your new soft skill initiative, let's say the diversity at sea. Okay, so if you single tap on the selected proficiency name, if you remember, I mentioned about this cross filter feature. Now everything on this page is recalculated again, and to show only the completion status on diversity and inclusion at sea. Okay, and here you can see the combined completion rate as well as a number of the outstanding proficiencies. Now you may be thinking, well, okay, that's fine. It's low, completion rate's low, and there are 133 crew has not completed this initiative. But what's the action here? Where do I start to follow up and chase those crew? Who are they and where are they? Now, if we scroll down to this page a little bit more, you will be able to see two more tables. The upper table gives you a summary per vessel. Take an example of the top row. The vessel Spark 5 has total 29 required, and then 12 out of 29 has completed this proficiency, whereas 16 crew has this proficiency outstanding. Okay, and the below table is the granular detail table showing you all the crew with all these proficiencies, as well as their current installations. So if today the job to be done for you is to start chasing the outstanding proficiency, what you need to do very conveniently is to apply one more filter. This time we want to filter out the training requirement status is outstanding only. Okay. So when that is done, you will see this granular table has now filtered down to 133 rows, which represents 133 crew who you need to follow up and chase the progress. So again, take away your data by exporting, and then you could follow up the communication from there with your usual business channel. So again, let's have a recap. We just covered the status of training requirements and how can we monitor and follow up any outstanding status. So everything is on this training requirement page, where you could use a combination of different filters to drill down to the problematic area and then take more action from there. So we just look at those three real-life scenarios, and these are just one of many examples that I demonstrate that can help you to unlock the power of the new dashboard in OLP. We believe this dashboard empowers you as a training manager. It will make it easy for you to actively tracking the learning engagement, and it will save time to monitor those mandated training regime at both very high level as well as in detail. And most importantly, it will turn your OLP data into actionable learning insights for you to take action as part of your broader Seafarer talent strategy. So I hope this gives you some inspiration how the OLP dashboard can optimize your work. This is just the beginning of our learning analytics journey. We plan to roll out more analytics tools to help you to measure learning effectiveness and efficiency, as well as leveraging performance data in order to complement a data-driven training need analysis. There's much more to come, and I cannot wait to share them with you as soon as it's ready. For now, I will hand it back to James and see if there's any questions we can answer in the meantime.
Thank you very much, Zoe. Very, very interesting. As Zoe said, now it's time for some questions. We do have some that have come through, so I'll kick off with one that I'm sure is probably on many people's minds. Will there be a cost to get or use the dashboard? And if so, what's the cost involved?
I'll take that, James. Yeah, so there won't be a cost to getting this dashboard specifically. We have, as I said earlier in the presentation, we really want to elevate the level of data engagement that you have and that you can get from our products. So we've decided to include this specific dashboard within the current subscription that you have for the Ocean Learning Platform.
Great, thank you very much, Robert. Another one here. How far does the data go back?
Yeah, so the data is only actually restricted by the length of time that you've been within the Ocean Learning platform. So as a default, when you go into the dashboard, there will be a more recent time frame probably to the full length of time that you've been using the system, but you can change that and go back as far as there is data available in your environment.
Great, thank you very much. Can I filter for individual personnel?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. So one of the filters that we saw on the right-hand side under the personnel section when we were going through is around personnel. So there's one on the user ID of the individual, and Zoe, remind me, I think it's the name of the person as well.
That's on the backlog we are building this spring.
Sorry, I'm jumping ahead.
Yes, but that's
coming as well, yeah. But we've definitely got the user ID in there today.
Great, thanks, Robert. One more question I can see is, which user in my company can see the dashboard?
Yeah, we will be configuring the dashboard for the online admin roles within companies where they've got access to the full system in the first instance. That rollout will be happening over the next month or so, and we'll be sending out communications as that has happened. There is a link to add yourself to the wait list to make sure that you do get access to that. So if you really want to get access, then please register there. And if we've got any questions, then we'll reach out when we're doing the configuration specifically around your environment.
Thanks, Robert. And yeah, we'll have one more that's just come in. Oh, two, in fact. What's the timeline for the dashboard? But I think you've kind of covered that one. Yeah,
so we're going to be configuring the majority of users over the next month or so. If there's any more complex scenarios or situations in terms of specific customers and environments, then we may need to have conversations and discuss that with you, but we'll reach out if you register for the wait list and when we get to that.
Great. And why is there not monthly notification to vessel? It's complicated to register individual vessels.
Is that two questions? I'm not sure I necessarily follow.
Yeah, we can perhaps have a look at that one offline and come back to the person who's asked that one. We'll have a look at that.
I mean, just to cover the notification point, so there aren't notifications included within our dashboard product. It is designed as a live interactive dashboard for you to go in and consume the data in the system. However, notifications in terms of jobs to be done within the system for all users is something that's really high on our priority list in terms of the user experience going forward. So definitely watch this space in terms of what's to come in the future.
Great, thanks, Robert. Doesn't look like we've got any more questions in this morning, so I think we'll probably look to wrap up there. As people can see on the screen, there's a QR code which you can scan with your phone to go straight to the page to join the waitlist for the dashboard. There's the URL underneath if you prefer to just go that way. But please go and take a look at that, and we look forward to receiving those. All that remains is for me to thank everybody for joining us this morning. It's fantastic to see so many people here at I say this time of day for us in the UK. It's an early start.
It's early for us, James. It's early for us, but not for everybody.
No, fair point. There is a wider world out there, isn't there? But no, thanks to everybody for joining us, and thanks very much to Robert and Zoe for hosting a fascinating session, which I hope everybody enjoyed. I will send everybody a link to the recording so you can watch it again at your leisure if there's anything you want to have a look at. Or you can pass it to a colleague if somebody else that may be interested within the business. So thank you very much, everybody. Have a great day, and look forward to seeing you on another webinar before too long. Thanks very much. Bye now.
Thanks, everyone.
Take care.